respect, unconditional love, married upon self, married upon self. Excuse me. It's your boy Ariel Naga L, and we're gonna dive in to the DMT aspect of the dream I had last night. I ain't gonna say it's a dream. I think it was a form of reality. And this cross reference is because through certain circumstances, we always tapping into it. Different forms of secretions that we use in our body for different purposes, like adrenaline and other things of that nature. But when the mind is constantly working that muscle and you're dealing with your root energy all the way up to your top energy, and you're collectively using them all within your physical understanding by motion, in the right circumstances, you start excreting the higher forms of things that are trapped into your receptors. So therefore, you have a higher experience for whatever the purpose. Now, the reason why I'm explaining it like this, because it's a good time for me personally and anybody else that's a Cancer to probably tap into this type of energy, especially on the pineal aspect. This is the winter solstice and the Cancer full moon, right? So I want to dive deeper into, hold on. I want to dive deeper into aspect of what happened with the dream, because I had time to actually revisualize it from the concept of what was given and kind of comprehend it better, that I was fully awake and charged up mentally. I saw my own form of tetrahedrons, and as soon as I closed my eyes, they were shimmering in every single different color or aspect while they were moving, forming different shapes and sizes in and out. They were pulling themselves in and out. And as I would shift, I wasn't really thinking, as I would just shift my impulse, it's like I was moving the visual, or as I was the viewer, moving the visual through different creational aspects. So when I would move, it would just create over here, but it would create differently, like it was a whole plane already. So say, for example, it's an invisible plane, and you have to lay over the invisible nothing that's already something, but you have to do it correct out of the creation, right? Almost like you're creating over something that's there. You know what I'm saying? So there is levels to it. It's places where it's only going to form this way, but simultaneously the same way is forming into the aspect of which you need to move forward. So you might not say that you want a road there. It might need to be a block wall there that you can walk around. It has to be that form right there. It has to be that, because that's the lesson, or that's the obstacle, or that's the true reality of that circumstance. So even with this electricity, it was going through my mind so fast, and as I would shift my visual, it would just create something different, like boom, 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 and then I'm moving up it, and it went from that into something completely, totally different. And for some reason, I'm not able to see that part. Like it was just a higher something, and I don't know what it was. I don't know. I can't see it. I just and I'm so vivid with my dreams, and so vivid with being in my dreams. You know what I mean, or just tapping into that dark area. You know what I mean, and being right there. And I've been working on that integrity so long now that it's heavy. But for some reason with this one, I got to a certain point, and after just seeing this reality created through formalizations of moving tetrahedron shapes just in and out of one another, pulling in and out, almost like it was its own black hole, and it was its own white and black hole. I'm gonna say that because it was the duality, and for no other reason. It was the inner and the outer, what went in and what came out into whatever different pure energy. And it was a bunch of it all over the place, you know? And see, I already know that most people don't understand. Well, from my perspective, the black sun is the inner. It pulls in all of the situations of the day. And through the sun, it comes out as energy. This is just my belief. So it's almost like we personally filter the energy and reflect it. Oh man. But as far as the dream was concerned, I know that when I laid down and access, even though I was on like a blazed motion, you know what I mean? I was in that THC rise, you know what I'm saying? Like it was different. It was very different. It was like it changed itself into something stronger than, like, after it got to a certain point, it's like it changed, it filtered through, and it went into the exact same feeling I get if I took DMT. Like I felt it go all the way over, and it's like the present reality changed. And at this point, I was sitting in a completely dark room. You know what I mean? Turn everything off, no sound, just wrapped up in the bed, and it was like boom. And I'm like, yo, what the hell? You know? Also, I have different. I say abilities because you know that's what we label them as, but I think it's particular to different DNA that's already inside of me that's awakening up or locking into other forms of DNA to be more prevalent because they're not being used. So I think I've been accessing other DNA. So if I do something once, and my mother used to say this shit, she used to be like, if you see somebody do something, you can just do it. Like you don't need to study it. It's just like you just naturally can see it and you do it. So I always been like that since I was little. You know what I mean? Like I see something and I don't care how big you are, how does it look, I would do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I took a toaster apart when I was like 6 and put it right back together way more efficient than what it was. Um, that's how I don't know. I'm not gonna dive into that. But um now it's like if I do something, depending on the physical feeling of it and how my natural receptors and how my spiritual connection is to it. If I do it a few times, I just have to touch the materials of it and think about it, and it'll give me relevance. Like I have